what's up, and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today we'll be talking about La La Land, a 2016 musical romance film written and directed by Damien Chazelle, and it nearly won Best Picture at the Academy Awards. If you remember, it did win, accidentally, before their win was taken away from them and given to the rightful winners, which of course was Moonlight. Personally, I found that to be a huge blow. Once they got the award for Best Picture, you don't just take that kind of thing away. I don't care if it was a mistake. Most people were already expecting La La Land to win it all that night anyways, given how many nominations it received, but it wasn't. So I can't tell you if I think Moonlight deserved the actual win or not because I haven't seen it, but I can tell you that it probably isn't half as fun as La La Land is. So even though Moonlight technically won, the brilliance that is La La Land is undoubtedly impregnable. Let's get cracking. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, impregnable. Incapable of being taken by assault, aka unconquerable. La La Land is primarily about two people. One has a dream and passion to one day become a famous jazz musician, while the other strives to become a famous actress. Upon meeting, they both fall in love and support the other's dream, never allowing the other to secede from their aspirations, but to rather hold on to the hopes of a brighter day at all costs. Without a doubt, this is a fun, feel-good movie, just like any good musical should be. You'll specifically enjoy this movie due to the fact that it takes major inspiration from old classic musicals like Singin' in the Rain. It takes so much inspiration, in fact, that even though the movie takes place in modern day, it doesn't feel like it. Everybody's wearing old-style clothing, watching older films, some drive classic cars, and nobody seems to have a cell phone or television. It does not feel modern, and yet it is. Strangely enough, even though I think the biggest fans of classic musicals will enjoy this the most, it's not even uniquely geared towards them. Anybody can enjoy it. There's something there for everybody. And the two leads here have a lot of chemistry as they've played opposite from each other in two other films in the past, Crazy Stupid Love and Gangster Squad. So their chemistry together was never going to be in question. Also, because I'm still in the middle of a Nicholas Sparks marathon, I know that when I'm watching a romance film specifically, what I'm always looking for is what these characters are willing to do for love. What grand and selfless gesture is going to happen for the audience to buy into the romance? Well, I can't tell you because it's a spoiler, but this also approaches that question in a very bold and original take. Not only that, but it doesn't really happen until the end, as it builds character development throughout the film. Basically, what these characters do towards the end is completely different from where the film began. So there's a lot of growth happening on both Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone's shoulders. Let's talk about the music for a second. The first time that I saw this movie, I really liked the film as a whole, but thought only, a couple of the songs were spectacular while the rest were just okay. I often feel like this with musicals. What often changes upon rewatch is that I suddenly find myself extremely enjoying all of the songs, and the same can be said about La La Land. I was getting into all the music choices, so in general, my experience with the movie was slightly higher than it ever had been before. Also, do not overlook the directing style of the film, because there's a lot of great usages of visuals in the film from both a lighting, color, and production design perspective. I was also constantly enthralled with the use of camera work, since there's all these musical numbers where the camera never cuts away. So there's a lot of choreography that all these major actors have to memorize, or they have to start all over again. The editing was also pristine, as it usually is with musical films, but even more so because a couple of things that happen in the beginning and end of the film where it goes back and switches perspectives from one character to the next. Obviously, the music and sound category of my rating model is going to get full points too. So even though this is a fun musical, that's not to say I'm giving it a high score because I like musicals. I'm giving it a good score because it's a good movie, which should be obvious given how many nominations the film received. But usually, Oscar nominations aren't always the most enjoyable or entertaining film in the world, while La La Land mostly fits that definition. You'll notice that I didn't give the film any kinds of negative remarks. That's because I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with it. I think for the most part, this is a dang good movie that hits all the right marks from both a technical, unbiased perspective as well as bias. That's why my unbiased score is nearly perfect at 96%, and my bias is slightly lower at 94%, but I couldn't even tell you why. That's like 1 star out of 50 that I have scored lower than the technical side of things. When we average everything together, we come to the final rating of 95%, 95 out of 100 possible stars, granting La La Land with a letter grade of A. This score is also a little bit higher than what I originally scored it, and the main reason for that mostly has to do with the fact that upon rewatch, I did have a better experience with it overall. Now, I would like to hear your thoughts on La La Land in the comment section down below. Did you enjoy it? Is it worth the hype? As for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this review, because there's always more like it coming out each and every single day. Hit the subscribe button and bell to be notified when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out!
Dave examines movies. We we just watch for fun. Davey is the expert, he is the #1 critic that I go to when I need a movie pick. Thanks for joining up with us. We